So last summer, one thing that truly bothered me was the Caruso-Josh Giddey trade, and I have record of this. I made a video when it happened. And trust me, I like Caruso just as much as you do, but he is currently 9th on the Thunder in minutes per game. And people were acting like the Bulls got fleeced for trading someone that is a 9th man for a young player you believe has all-star potential. And I'm not trying to diminish Caruso, but if any team sold low here, it is OKC, and we all understand why. He wasn't a fit, and we can all act like it didn't happen now, but teams were definitely reticent on Josh Giddey because of all the allegations going on at that time. And I'm not even trying to make it a Josh Giddey thing. We'll talk about that in a second. But just the overall idea of it when it happened, it was so mind-boggling to me, but that's how groupthink works. That's how, Twitter works. And I understand I'm not going to leave out all the context like other people might. The context was OKC has all these picks, right? So you got to get one if you're the Bulls. No, you don't got to get one. You get a guy you believe has all-star potential. And again, this is where we exclude Josh Giddey and your personal feelings about Josh Giddey. I'll let you guys know how I feel about Josh Giddey as a player in a second. But just take out the names. Aging defensive role player. 21-year-old who has shown all-star potential and averaged 16 points, 8 boards, and 6 assists in his second year. And the whole world acted like the Bulls were stupid for trading for Josh Giddey. It was crazy. And I just told you those numbers. It's not like Josh Giddey was some unproven guy. You knew the potential. But even if he wasn't proven, let's say he's someone like, let's say a Kuminga right now, where maybe he's not a fit long-term for the Warriors, and you're a bad team with a lack of talent influx, and you have a chance to trade a aging role player on your team for a guy with all-star potential. And I'm trying to be respectful of Caruso because I understand how good he is and how good he was playing at that particular moment. But when you really think about it, it's like if the Wizards said, you know what, Marcus Smart for Kuminga, we don't want to do that. We're a terrible team. We don't have a lot of ways to get good players, but we wouldn't give up Marcus Smart because he's a role player and he's valuable here and the fans love him. What are we talking about? I think it was just the whole Josh Giddey situation. It was fun to make fun of Josh Giddey at that moment, and everyone loves Caruso, and everyone knows the Thunder have all the picks, but in reality, it was absurd the way that went down. So not only do I believe I was on the right side of history with that, independent of how you feel about Josh Giddey as a player, but I also feel like I was right about Josh Giddey as a player. And the main thing I talked about, maybe it wasn't the Caruso video, it probably was, right? But Josh Giddey is having maybe the best month of his career as a scorer. And if you go back and watch that video, I know I keep telling you guys to go back and watch my old videos, but when I'm right, I got to give myself credit. When I talked about Josh Giddey, I said how everybody is focused on Josh Giddey as a three-point shooter, and he's been shooting the ball a lot more. But I said what would truly unlock Josh Giddey as a scorer is getting to the free throw line, because if you look at his career, he does not get to the line at all. For his career, he averages exactly 2.0 free throws per game. And for someone that has the ball as much as he does, that's actually crazy. This season, that's up to 3 a game. But this month in particular, that is all the way up to 7 a game. I'm recording this video before they play, who do they play? They play the Dallas Mavericks tonight. I'm recording this before that. So far this month, he is at 7 free throws per game. And if he's gonna do that, he's gonna be a different type of player. And I was really focused on that more than the three-point shooting because I felt like this was something that he could easily add to his game. If you watch him, it's not like he's someone that is, devoid of physicality. He plays with a lot of physicality. He just needs to learn how to get calls in the NBA, and he's doing that. And if he's gonna do that, there's no reason he can't put up 22 points a game like he's doing right now. And if he's the type of player that can get you 23 a night, and he's also gonna get you 9 boards and 7 assists, he's gonna be an all-star level player, and I truly believed in this. I don't think there's anything fluky going on right now. Even the three-point shooting, yes, he's not gonna shoot 41 for his career like he's doing in this month, but it's not like when people talked about Josh Giddey, people talked about him like he was Ben Simmons. Josh Giddey was a willing three-point shooter, so much so that last year, per 36, he shot more threes than Shea and J-Dub. So when everyone talked about, oh, Josh Giddey's not the spacer, well, those guys weren't shooting at all, and that was also providing a worse environment for someone with Josh Giddey's skill set, someone that can drive and kick to guys that aren't shooting the ball. And I know most of you guys aren't going to go back and watch the video I'm telling you guys to go back and watch, but I'll leave it in the end cards if you actually do want to do that. I would greatly appreciate it. But here's an interaction I had in the comments, and This was a while ago. I wasn't getting many views, but shout out to Mellow Wyatt here for being in the comments and having this conversation with me. He was the only person to comment on this video. That's how long ago it was. So I appreciate the come up. I appreciate all you guys that are going to comment on this video. But as I mentioned earlier, I understood the sentiment of OKC has all these picks. I got that. I just feel like we were overlooking the actual player they got back. So again, he says not getting any picks is crazy. That's what happens when you wait till there's 1 year left on a deal. I feel like a couple years from now, this trade will be looked at as a win for both teams. Now, what I meant by waiting till there's 1 year left on the deal, I mean other suitors for Caruso. I believe if they traded Caruso earlier, a lot of other teams would have, coughed up multiple first-round picks. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was reported that the Warriors offered 2 first-round picks, and looking back at that, that would have been a mistake for the Warriors, but he goes on to tell me how the Thunder have all the picks, and you could have got 1 or 2. Giddey's a solid player. I'd be upset if I was a Bulls fan. That's where we disagree. I say, yes, it was a misstep and bad negotiating. Why do I say that? Because we all understand the context. There's picks. They didn't get any picks. I go on to say, but in general, we're enamored with picks these days when in reality, taking a shot on Giddey if you believe in his potential is not the tragedy people are making it out to be. The tragedy was them not realizing when to trade Zach and DeMar to the point where Caruso became their best asset. Old me was cooking right there. Old me was cooking right there. I also go on to say it was dumb for them not to extend Caruso themselves and try to find a deal after, but maybe they tried. Who knows? Last thing here, I'm also just a bigger believer than most in Giddey's ceiling as a scorer. So maybe I'm way off, but if you telling me I got a fringe all-star for a guy that was gonna leave next year, I'll take that over some mid to late first, while acknowledging they could have got more. I am a fair individual. I am a fair person. Like I said, I understood the frustration. I just thought people were overreacting and sleeping on the fact you got a 21-year-old they believe can be an all-star for a 30-year-old role player on an expiring deal. I felt like I was crazy watching the reaction to that deal, but like I said in that comment, I'm a bigger believer in Josh Giddey as a scorer. I believe in his ceiling as a scorer more than other people do. And the reason I believed in that ceiling is, one, he's a willing three-point shooter, even if he's not a great one, he's a willing one. And two, the more important one, the free throw line, because I seen he was only averaging 2 free throws a game. And that made me want to go look up and see, like, what is he doing? Why isn't he getting to the line? Is he avoiding contact? And actually, no, he's a very physical driver. And I just felt like eventually he was going to learn how to get to the line. And when he did that, the scoring would increase. And that's the main thing we're seeing right now. That's the thing that's not fluky at all. The hot shooting, maybe that'll cool down, but if he can consistently get to the line, there's no reason he can't average 19, 20, 22 points a game. In this video right here from October 25th, 2023, it's no longer on the channel, not because I was wrong, but because I was early. But if you look at that, well, you're not going to be able to look at that, but clicking on that video, you'll see free throws. Free throws, exactly what I'm talking about, free throws. I'm pointing out all the shots he gets at the rim, how he gets to the rim more or as much as these other star level players, but he's not getting to the line. Just to let you guys know, this is not something I'm just making up on the fly. I've always been a believer in Josh Giddey and this part of his game developing at some point, and now we're finally here. Just quickly, like, these are the clips I was watching in the preseason against OKC that made me feel like we were going to see a different Josh Giddey. Like the physicality he's playing with, the shoulder bump, like, I just thought there was potential for him to be much more of a scorer when we look at clips like this. But that season, it didn't really pan out. He still didn't get to the line at all. But now we're here. I don't believe it is a fluke at all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you believe in this run? Do you think it's just a hot streak? Or do you believe Josh Giddey has real all-star potential? Let me know in the comments down below. Please like, comment, subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.